Welcome to AstroEnergy with Astrologer Angel Shelley Overton. Hello and good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. If you are anywhere in the world listening to this, my name is Shelley Overton, and you are listening to the AstroEnergy Show on Blog Talk Radio. It's good to have you here. I'm excited to be here. It's a kind of overcast day in Orlando, and I don't like those. I am not a fan of overcast. I don't mind rain, and once in a while, of course, but not overcast. That just is like, bleh. It's kind of like sitting around in pea soup. So we're supposed to have rain the next 3 days. Actually, on the weather map, they show the next 4 days. But I don't believe it, because I believe that I can resonate to the kind of vibration I want to live, and I'm going to do that. I'm going to see what we can do with that. So anyway, let's see. What we're going to talk about today is Gemini, because Gemini is about to happen. It's about to be a Gemini month. And let's see what else. We've also got some planetary aspects we're going to talk about. And I'm just trying to find my way around some of the internet stuff. I was just going to chit-chat a little bit about current events and see what's going on this week. A lot of things have been popping up. I don't know if I mentioned that last week. I may have, but it seems like things are becoming hidden and also coming out of hiding. I think that's the Mercury retrograde. But yeah, the two things that kind of stick out in my mind most are probably missing people right now, which the lady who was on the ship going to Mexico, on a cruise to Mexico, she fell overboard off of the cruise line, and they searched for like 20 hours and searched 4,000 square miles and couldn't find her. So that just kind of saddens my heart. It really does. I mean, you know, that kind of thing. I probably shouldn't start the show out with things that are like that, but it's just the things that catch my eye during the week that I mentioned, and definitely that was one of them. You know, it's just the same usual political stuff too. It's things happening. You know, still here's a story on Facebook. It says video shows women holding a Bible and decrying store's transgender bathroom policy. So people are still in that state of mind where they're feeling like things aren't going the way they want them to go, and they are wanting to make the world more the way they used to have it, or the way they see it, or, you know, everybody's up in arms. Everybody's all up in arms over everything. So, not surprising. We have a lot of stuff going on, and there's still a grand trine in Earth right now, and Jupiter is direct this week. We have Jupiter at 13 degrees Virgo. We have the North Node at 19 Virgo retrograde. We have Moon at 10 Libra. He just went in 10 degrees, probably in the middle of the night. He is at the apex of a finger of God right now between Mercury and Neptune and the Moon. So that is a highlighted energy. The Moon, feminine, nurturing, and Libra is partnering. So right now it's about home life, family, relationships, and the changes and the struggles around that. Mercury in Taurus is trying to get your point across, but probably not getting your point across the way you want to. And then Neptune is what's hidden and what we really feel deep inside, and where we're going with our emotions and our greatest desires. So it's a pretty emotional day, and so it's not surprising to me the weather is a bit overcast, because the weather always seems, in my world anyway, always seems to follow the energy of our moods, and vice versa, that we connect into the energy of the weather, and we may feel, you know, a little bit forlorn, or, you know, not 100%. And then, you know, well, the weather gives us those feelings, and we express these feelings and create weather. It's kind of a give and take. So Moon in Libra definitely is going to be a couple days of relationships, thinking about relationships and thinking about relationships with people in your home life because of the moon. You may want to hole up. The moon always has us withdraw and, get real with what we really feel. And so right here in aspect in conjunct, which is 150 degrees away from Mercury, there is the energy of money and thinking about money and thinking about the lack of money and wondering about your personal value, wondering where things are going to go, where money's going to come from. And then the moon is thinking, well, I need to find a partner, or I have to talk to my partner about money or the lack thereof. So it brings in those feelings, that energy. And then, and very much Mercury in Taurus is much more mental energy. It is the concepts and pragmatic way of looking at money. So it's not. So that's really where the disconnect comes between the moon and Neptune. Is that, well, actually Neptune is right now in sextile, which is a positive aspect to Mercury. So they're kind of working together with the energies. Although Neptune in Pisces can be very daydreamy and not really connected into the materialism of the world. A retrograde Mercury can be a little bit more idealistic and not as grounded because it is going back over old energy. So it's not really in that necessarily pragmatic, forward-thinking energy. It's really going back over old energies, and so there is still a little difference of vibration, even though they can work in tandem. The pragmatism of Mercury right now around money can be beneficial to the idealistic Neptune in Pisces, but Libra moon is wanting to do things and about romance. Well, Taurus also is ruled by Venus, as is Libra. So there is, interestingly, a commonality of a ruling planet, but they are in different energies. One's in air and one's in are different elements. One's in air and one's in earth. So moon in Libra wants to think about concepts and how it relates to life, with another person. But and then so I'm sitting here trying to show you the differences, but yet I keep seeing commonalities, which I guess is where my mind is at today. Mercury in Taurus. So Mercury is the air energy that resonates closer to Libra, or can, because Mercury rules Gemini. So that would be in a positive energy. But in Taurus, he's much more closely related to the Virgo energy, or Capricorn, in wanting to take clear, tangible action. And so he'll go back and maybe brood over something that happened, or take his time chewing on something else that had happened around money, like why did it have to happen that way? What's going on with it? Where are we going to go with it? Just feeling that he has to really immerse and take his time to think. Venus is 6 degrees off of Mercury at 21 now, and the Sun is at 27 Taurus. And the Sun goes into to Gemini on Friday at 10:36 a.m. Eastern and 7:36 a.m. Pacific. Then the very next day, the Moon will have entered Sagittarius at 2:48 p.m. and then immediately proceeds to oppose the Sun at 5:14, creating a full moon. And then we're going to experience some of the full moon and the new energy of Gemini. So this is an interesting dynamic as well. I'm going to get to that in 1 second, and then we'll talk some more about Gemini too, but I haven't really finished up around the zodiac before we really get to the energies coming up later in the week. So Mars is at 3 Sagittarius retrograde. Saturn is at 14 Sagittarius retrograde. Pluto is at 17 Capricorn retrograde. Neptune's still forward at 11. South Node at 19 Pisces retrograde. Uranus is at 22 Aries, and he's direct. And then Mercury, of course, retrograde at 15, Venus 21, Taurus 27, Sun, and that kind of rounds it out. So at least with the planets and lights. We're not going to do the asteroids today. So still have the Mars Saturn retrograde. I have been hearing a lot about this feeling of inertia and not moving forward, feeling like I keep taking action but nothing really happens. That's going to happen. Mars retrograde, whatever sign he's in, he's going to want to take action. He's not seeing anything manifest from what he's doing, from the action he's taking. And that's, when I say he, I mean we. So in our charts, wherever Sagittarius falls in our chart, we're feeling inert. We're feeling like nothing's happening. Everything is stagnant. And we probably know where we want to go because we already experienced these energies when they were in their direct motion. But now they're retrograde, so it's just a stressor and a frustration for us because Sagittarius is a sign of forward motion, of action and movement. So Mars in Sagittarius is a double whammy. They're both fire energies. Mars rules Aries, and in the sign of Sagittarius, they're both fire. So fire signs are really feeling this strongly right now. Also, Pisces and Virgo and Gemini are feeling this because it is the Sagittarius energy is in square or 90-degree angles to Virgo and Pisces and Neptune and Jupiter, and it is opposing Gemini. So, of course, this weekend we're going to have a stronger energy around that. I do want to warn you that this weekend is a stronger vibration of accidents, and that's only because we have Sun moving into Gemini. So the Sun is ego moving into the sign of Gemini, which is the ruler ruled by Mercury, which is, to me, the ruler of accidents. It is quick energy, quick mind energy, and the body doesn't catch up as quickly. So we're a little bit slower to react physically, and yet we may see things mentally. We may be right there mentally, or we might be impatient. We might be racing ahead of what the action is around us. So just be a little more cautious, not only because of Mercury, but because the Sun's in Gemini and then is exactly opposed Mars in Sagittarius. And Sagittarius energy is long-distance travel, can be plane travel. So if you're flying, be aware that there's probably going to be some type of upset, either in booking, in waiting for the flight, in delays due to weather. It could be anything, but it is something that can get to you, get to your ego. You're going to want to be moving, want to be action-oriented, but the Sun in Gemini, it's very quick thinking, and ego is involved, opposing Mars retrograde Sag. So, the ego wants you to get there quickly, and Sag, and Mars Sag, and Saturn Sag are saying, no, not so fast. So there's a disconnect there. But I want to say that if you allow things and I ask angels for help. If you're in a travel situation, just ask Archangel Michael to make it a smooth trip for you and to protect you. And then he will. He will, believe it or not. So, okay, let's see what else I've got here. So Pluto in Capricorn in trine to Mercury and Venus. And he's pretty much dead center between those two, so he splits the difference. And so he's really talking to those two planets, and he's wanting to be the authority figure and to go to the old way of hierarchical boss employee type of work, type of business situation, type of politics even. And Mercury and Venus, Mercury is saying, yeah, that sounds good. Let's keep going with that. I get on board with that. My money is safe, da-da-da-da-da. I understand that. And Venus is kind of going, well, she's separating from Mercury, saying, you know what, I'm going forward. I want to see what the future brings. I want to see what Gemini brings. Gemini has ideas. So Mercury is going to be, or Venus, excuse me, is going to be moving into Gemini as well, coming up here pretty soon. Oh, and I forgot, Sunday Mercury goes direct. Yay, 9:20 a.m. That's phenomenal. Yay, we're very excited about that. So let me just tell you when Venus is going into Gemini. It is the 25th. So what are we on, the 17th? So it's 8 days away. So we'll probably be talking a little bit about that next week. But anyway, so Gemini, I'm going to talk a little bit about Gemini. Gemini, as I've said, is ruled by the planet Mercury. And Mercury has double duty between Gemini and Virgo, which square each other in the zodiac. So the energy, like an element that each are in, are different. One is air, one is earth. And Mercury right now, so the sun or whatever planet's going through a sign will answer to another planet based on the sign it's in. So the sun going into Gemini answers to Mercury. Mercury is retrograde in Taurus. So naturally, Gemini is the sign after Taurus. So it will be energy of the subconscious. If you set up a chart for Gemini based on Gemini in the first house, then that means that the house behind it, which would be the Taurus house, rules the subconscious. So Geminis this month are definitely going to be aware of money situations, but as time goes on, as this weekend comes in and Mercury goes direct, we're going to feel a lot better about it. Chances are it'll free up our money. It'll help us move forward with some of our ideas and dreams. If you're a Gemini, you're going to feel a little bit more confident and comfortable with that coming in. Gemini as a sign is very quick-minded. They are, it's an electrical energy. Mercury rules electricity and quick thinking, so they can be a pretty sharp cookie. Because their mind is constantly active, they tend to be prone to repetitive thoughts, towards talking a lot, because they need to get this energy out. What you need to do if you're a Gemini or have strong Gemini in your chart is ground, because like all electricity, it needs to be grounded. And that grounding energy, so like picturing the earth and putting roots down into the earth, sending the electrical energy down into the earth, that can help you. So yeah, that electricity, if you're not grounding, you're going to short circuit. You're going to short circuit your mind. You're going to short circuit your health. You're going to short circuit literally light bulbs and electricity around you, phones, computers, things like that, because that Gemini energy needs somewhere to go, and you are a channel for that electricity. So, when you come in the room, you can light it up like a light bulb, and it's mental energy that you're throwing out there, and you're very charismatic. You like to talk, so you can really engage in other people and really connect in mentally. So you're really a good teacher. You constantly curious, very much always looking for information, wanting to know things. You can be a bit of a know-it-all, but you can also be a bit of a nosy person, because you're just so curious. You just want to know the information. So Gemini through the chart, I'm going to do this really quickly because we have a few callers, and I definitely want to get to you pretty quick here. So Gemini in the first house, it is the self, the ego. You're trying to express yourself. The second house can make you dualistic around money issues. You can be good with money one day and bad with money the next, but you understand concepts around money, and you have a lot of amazing ideas when it comes to money. The third house is your natural house. So if you have Gemini sign or Mercury in your third house, it's about teaching and imparting information and communication. You can be a teacher, or you could be a radio personality, even any kind of electronic transcription or, imparting information through electronic means will definitely help you with having a third house Gemini energy. Fourth house means that you may have two families, or you may have twins for children, because it is the sign of the twins. So it can come out in the family life and mothering situations, or you may have two mothers. So it's the duality of the sign. Two homes, two anything in the fourth house. The fifth house, again, it's children. So it could be sign of the twins. You could be a twin. It is creative energy. You could be an artist, and you may have multiple means of expression of that creative energy, but have many friends and have different friends for different types of life situations. One friend who likes to go to movies, another friend who likes to just sit around and chat over a glass of wine. Sixth house Mercury and Gemini in the sixth house is communication and work and also service. So again, it's the duality. You may have two jobs. You may hold on multiple jobs or be in a position of um, like teaching or training. So your job might involve that. Seventh house. Gemini on the seventh house is multiple partners or multiple marriages and a potential to be two different people within the marriage. So you have two different sides and they're expressed in that realm. And most likely it's multiple marriages or multiple partners because the Gemini energy is very, like I said, charismatic and they tend to always keep going towards the next thing. So it's very difficult for them to commit fully to a partner forever. So their minds are constantly in need of stimulation. So if they get a partner that's a forever partner, it needs to be somebody who has a similar mindset of constant curiosity and interest in many different things. The eighth house, Gemini. So you really, really love seeking out information and research. And you can be a politician and, you're probably the classic politician who, he likes to talk, likes to be the center of attention, and is giving out the information that people want to hear as opposed to what's really the case. So this energy is, it's hidden, so you may be more prone to not telling the truth with a Gemini in the eighth house. Ninth house, again, it rules higher education and spirituality, so you seek out new ways of expressing your spiritual side and your interest in education. You may even be a professor or a teacher because you want to talk and express. It's another house that may be good for training people. The house of Capricorn, which is the 10th house in the zodiac, the top of the chart, that's the authority house. So you are part of the machine, or you may, if you're part of the machine, chances are you're involved in something electrical. It could be an electrician. It could be because it deals with the actual cords and cables and electrician energy around, making it happen in structures. You could also be a broadcaster, which is something like a person in authority. You might be the person who, and it's music as well. So you could be in music or music producer. And also, so as far as a parent, you would be potentially, there would be multiple parents, or you might be one of more than one parent to your children. I mean, as far as like multiple sets of parents, I should say. Okay, so the 11th house, Gemini, is friendship and connections to work and networking. So you're really good in this house if you have Gemini or Mercury in the 11th house. You know how to talk to people. You know how to make friends and connect in and really get the network going, and probably also a good salesperson in this position just because you can talk circles around everybody else, so you know how to get to the heart of the matter, and you can be whatever people want you to be because you're a chameleon like that. The 12th house, Gemini, means you actually may be the only place in the zodiac where it's quiet unless you have a conjunction to Neptune or Saturn. So you're going to be more subdued. You're going to be more introspective, and probably a really good channel for energy and information coming in that way, and psychic electric energy, which means you just know things. Things are very clear and aware for you in the 12th house. So that being said, we're going to take some calls before I get my break. Anyway, I'm sorry about the abrupt ending. I just wanted to make sure I got through all of that. So, okay, once again, my name is Shelley Overton. I'm an astrologer in Orlando, Florida. You can get me at astrologerangel.com, and we're going to take a call here. So 917, hi, who is this?
Hi.
Could you speak up a little?
Yeah, this is Anna.
Hey, there you are. Oh, hi, Anna. How are you?
I am okay. I have a question because
Sure.
yesterday I fell off my bike and injured my left foot, and it's healing. But I'm wondering, like, why did I do this?
If you hold on real quick, give me your birth information so I can look at your chart while you're giving me the explanation. Okay.
I was born in Amsterdam, the Netherlands.
Okay. What day?
January 25th, 1973 at
And
11:14 a.m.
11:14 a.m. in Amsterdam. Okay, great.
Thank you.
Okay, sure. Let me make sure I've got all that and it comes up properly. And my computer just decided to take its time.
Okay, that's fine.
Oh, please don't bum out on me. Just hurry.
Don't see Mercury retrograde.
I know. It's wrapping it up. It's going, oh, sure. Sure, we're going to give you one last taste before we go direct. So hang on. I'm going to actually, I'm going to change a little something here because I actually put in Holland, but I'm going to put in the Netherlands, like you said, and see if that, yep, there it goes. Okay. So you were accurate, and I was making stuff up. Okay.
Well, that was to Holland is legitimate, too.
Yeah, you would have thought, but it didn't like it.
Yeah, yeah, it didn't.
Said, where's Holland? No. Let's put in the Netherlands.
We have options.
Okay, so you want to know about your foot. And
why now?
Go ahead.
No,
why now?
Wondering, why now? Why did I do this to myself?
Well, your chart, okay, so the feet are ruled by Neptune and Pisces. And Neptune is in Pisces right now, and that squares your moon and your Neptune, as well as Mars in the sky right now in Sagittarius. So that is the energy of taking action. And interestingly, Sagittarius is the lower half of the body with the legs. So it can relate not only to the Sagittarius energy, but also mom and doing your ideal life or making your dreams come true, because you have a moon conjunct Neptune in Sagittarius, but it's also in the 8th house, which is about your value as a person within a relationship. So because Mars is on top of your moon Neptune conjunction in Sagittarius, I would say it definitely relates to being able to take action away from the family per se, away from maybe a strong relationship. So I don't know if you're married or have a relationship that you're in or trying to get out of.
I have a relationship that I'm in right now.
And how's it going for you?
Good.
Okay, good. So are you feeling like you're able to do things the way you want to do them? Are you able to take action like travel or seek out spiritual understanding freely?
Yes.
Awesome.
Absolutely. Yeah, with him, he gives me too much. He gives me a lot of space, and he needs it too because he works, he travels sometimes. So it's just a new relationship, really.
Oh, it's fairly new?
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Well, looking at your chart, there are a few different aspects that are going on. That would be one of them. I would say if it isn't your relationship, it's probably a connection to mom or dad that you're maybe not able to fully express yourself in the way you want with them.
Yeah.
Because of the energy, where the energy is positioned in your chart. So
well, I feel like I'm doing my best to be financially independent of them. And it's just like I just got this job, an in-between job, which was so horrible, not in my field, but it was making some money, and I was going there, and then I have this foot that I can't work with this foot.
Okay, so that, interestingly, definitely is Mars squaring Neptune in your chart, because Mars is taking action, but it's squaring Neptune, and Neptune's the feet. Yeah. Mars is wanting to move forward. Because of the position of Mars right now, it's in your house of money from other people or value to other people. And both Mars and Saturn, like I said earlier in the show, are going retrograde, which means they're pulling back their energy. So you're feeling frustrated on some level around money, around your personal value. And, because the energy of Mars is let's move forward, but in retrograde, it's like you're not necessarily sure-footed. You're, I don't know how exactly this happened, but it's about being solid in got Mars retrograde. So again, like I said, it's the accident energy. On top of it, you have Vesta 0 degrees Gemini in your second house of the body, as well squaring Neptune. So you've got that, and in your natal chart, you have Saturn squaring Neptune as well right now in Gemini. So there's like some kind of, even if you told me nothing other than you hurt your foot, I would say it relates to money. It relates to your ability to move around autonomy, but again, it connects to the parents. It connects to being able to show them that you're autonomous. That's really what is coming in here. And Neptune is in Pisces. It's wanting you to slow down and look at more of the emotions of things. A lot of times I think Neptune really doesn't get addressed by people don't know much about Neptune, but Neptune is about our deep feeling of connectedness to spirit and really connecting into the wisdom that comes through very subtly. Neptune works on us slowly over time. It takes a long time to go through a sign, over a decade, almost a decade and a half to go through a sign. So it really gives us a long time to focus on the messages it brings. And for you, that falls in your house of money from career and networking with people that you really want to connect in with. So there's also an overlay of your soul group going on here of like really needing to connect to the right people, but also at the same time and making your dreams come true, but also showing your family that you're capable. You will be capable. I'm going to just tell you that after the end of June, let me see. I think it's, Mars goes direct. It might be, hang on, I'm going to just double check my numbers here. The end of June, Mars goes direct on the 28th, and then Saturn goes direct on July 12th through 13th, right in that time. So you're going to have the summer really to deal with some of the deeper issues that you've had wanting to move forward. And I think that the foot is probably just an expression of a certain amount of frustration. Just to give you a little insight, years ago when I was getting ready to graduate art school, I was getting a little bit stressed out over what to do, and I don't know. Now I'm going to have to go out there and earn a living, and do I freelance? Do I work for someone? And because this is all in retrospect that I recognize this. I was driving down a 4-lane divided highway, and I was taking a left turn, and someone didn't see me as they were turning, and we ended up hitting each other. Actually, I take it back. I was going straight. She turned in front of me, and I had this huge accident. I had hysterical blindness while I was waiting in the car for the ambulance, and it freaked me out because I'm an art student at that time. And, it's just like this energy comes out of our lives as an awakening. It's like, what is it? And I realized later on that happened because I was so stressed over where I was going. I recognized that I had this energy in my life of frantic and lost and, a little bit upset over what to do. And it came out in the environment in that manner. So yes, you definitely have something that's associated with hurting your foot. There are no accidents. It's not random. We do have these belief systems deep inside our lives, and that's what the beauty of soul searching is all about, is that you start to unwind the ball of twine, finding what is behind things that happen to you, because we do ultimately have our own responsibility for ourselves, because nobody else is living our lives. We're in charge of the ship. It appears that things happen to us randomly, but they're really not random if you start to unravel your own belief system. So some of that, you've got a square of Neptune to Neptune, so that's going to be a pretty big thing in your life. It's really a shift and change of your spiritual energy. Like, this is a time in your life when you might rethink the kind of religion or spiritual belief system that your family gave you, and say, I don't know if I believe that. And now you're really questioning because of that. And then Jupiter is opposing Neptune in your chart and squaring your natal Neptune, which just adds to it. But Jupiter is also about activity and action because it rules Sagittarius. So it's also squaring Neptune right now in your chart. So you have a pretty heavy T-square going on in your chart, an actual cross between the transits and what's in your chart natally. So you have Saturn at 13, Neptune transiting at 11, Neptune natally at 6, and Jupiter at 13, all squaring each other, all in different parts of the sky. So it is a huge time of shift and change, ownership, knowing yourself and expressing your true nature and yourself and being confident with that. So those are the things that I see about what's going on, if it relates directly to feet, which is Pisces. So does that help you at all?
Yeah, I think, well, I'm not sure, what to do. I guess I'm just not going to go to that job and that
have you talked to them?
Anyway.
Oh, you don't like, well, see there, that's a key too. When you don't like something, you start to act out in other ways, believe me. So,
oh yeah, I do.
yeah.
I know that, but I think like I had to go because I feel bad for not working in between jobs, so I thought, let me just work here and then I can pay this and this and this at least, So it was I felt pressurized to, to keep doing what I love to do.
And that's a huge lesson if you look at it, because whenever you ignore your own desires, you're going to end up adding stress and conflict to your life. If you can find a way to be okay with where you're at, or look at the situation. I know we live in this quote unquote material world, but the material world really does hang on spirit, because everything starts as a belief system. Everything starts as a thought. There is nothing that's created in this world that did not come from someone's idea or someone's mind or belief system.
Right.
So to say that things are random and they just happen is not true. We do own what happens when we own what happens to us, and dig deeper for our own, like, okay, so a little exercise you could do is say, if there were something good to come from this, what would it be? Or if this is an expression of something inside of me, what would it be saying? And
it would say, like, don't go to this job. And my mind is saying, I have to go.
Well,
yeah, it's a struggle.
Okay,
and that's why
I'll tell you why it's
a
struggle. It's a struggle because you're...
I like the money. I like the money. I love the money that I'm making. And it's tough work, and there's a lot of issues around it. But I don't want to do it. I don't like it.
Well, so then you need to maybe make a list of things that you could do instead that you do like to do that can make money. And even if you're a creative person, there are a lot. There's Etsy.
Yeah, there's a lot of other ways to make money with things that I do like, and being in between jobs until I find the right fit for me. I need like an in-between thing,
Well, you're feeling guilt, and guilt is, as far as I'm concerned, guilt is just a recognition that somebody else wants something and you feel what they want for you and you don't want to do it. Your own inner voice is saying, I don't want to do that, but you're more aligned with what they want than what you want. That's where the guilt comes in. It's a disconnect.
Yeah, I think, my boss likes me. She wants me there. She thinks it's a great influence, and it's positive energy, and then I feel drained out after 4 hours.
Is that because of the people around you or the kind of work?
I think it's both. I think it's the kind of work. It just completely knocks me out.
Well, you definitely need to ground yourself and protect yourself, like envision a bubble of light around you of any color, and you have to refresh that every day because it does wear off. But if you envision yourself as this, like a mirror ball, I love that one. I put a mirror ball around me which reflects negative energy back to people, and it protects me. The other thing is, if you really approach your boss and say, is it possible now that I have this foot problem to work from home? I've got a computer. Can we do the work from home? She might be able to work with you.
It's a paint thing. It's a mural painting, like on the wall.
Oh, no. Oh, that's a fun job. Oh, my gosh. That's such a fun job.
It's actually like Venetian. It's a Venetian technique that we do on the walls.
I know, Venetian plaster, like that?
Yeah, Venetian plaster layers.
No, I know. It's tedious. I did my bathroom in that stuff. Oh, my gosh, it takes forever. It was 40 hours to do my bathroom, which was like 10 by 10. Crazy.
Oh, my God, you know what it is. Yeah,
I know.
Are you happy with your bathroom?
Pardon me?
Are you happy with your bathroom? You like it?
I loved the look. I loved it. It was like this really beautiful kind of pale muted aqua, like that Restoration Hardware aqua, and it was so beautiful and smooth walls. I loved it, but I swore I'd never do it again because it was so much work. Yeah, it was a lot.
It's a lot of work. Exactly.
It is. So it's real physical, but it should pay well. I mean, like I said, I used to do murals and faux finishes, and that's good paying work.
$3 an hour or so. It comes
what?
Down
oh, honey, no. 3? Did you say 3?
No, I said $30 to $33 an hour.
Oh, okay, good. I'm like $3 an hour. Oh yeah, it pays pretty well. So,
yeah, it's okay. Yeah.
You know what? I don't know if you do this, any kind of portraiture or pet portraits. I would definitely
No.
put something out if you do any kind of work like that. You don't do more drawing skills or anything like that?
Yeah, drawings. I can do art.
Hmm. Well, if you were so inclined, I mean, I'm just giving you a couple hints, and I've got to wrap up the call. Um, you
Yeah.
could go on YouTube, and they have a lot of artists out there putting stuff up, and they can teach you if you have any inclination. I mean, portraiture, and especially pet portraits, people always want pet portraits.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
but
Thank you.
let me look at your chart real quick. You have Saturn and Gemini in the second house of money, which is something that either relates to money or relates to real estate type of things, or even multiple income streams. Again, like I said earlier, in the Gemini energy in the second house, or Saturn is structure around communications. So it could be money from being a teacher, money from any type of coursework or communications. So, honestly, YouTube, you could do something. I mean, I'm not saying that's going to be something that would bring in money right away, but if you did YouTube videos on something that is your passion, that would be a really phenomenal way to start earning some money down the road. It takes a while to build up your following, but it's about like media and communicating, so radio or electronics or internet, things like that. So all of that would be good for you. But you have an opposition to Sagittarius, so it's travel as well. So travel, a job doing like a travel agent would be awesome for you too.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. I hope I helped you in some respect.
I think I'm going to go back to my own job field, and I'm going to go find some clients.
What's your old job field?
I'm an art therapist, but I'm in between jobs right now.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
No, I'm sure you can find it. Next week will be much better for trying to do something when Mercury goes direct. Communications will be much more direct, and it's about money. And I think, it's going to free everyone up for the money to start coming back in and connecting to people and verbalizing it. I think it's much better next week. Okay?
Maybe I'll start with the painting again next week for my in-between job. And maybe I'll feel better then by that time.
I think it definitely will help. I think you have Mercury retrograde in the first house, so it can kind of make you feel a little bit like, let's all face it, when we don't have money coming in through something that we do, especially freelancers, we feel bad about ourselves. So whenever you have the jobs, it's like, I did that myself. You feel so much sense of pride and worth.
Exactly.
That's what you need. So if you can
maybe
definitely
I need to
do that.
Yeah. I understand. Maybe I just need this week to kind of come to terms with where I think it's a good thing.
Yeah, I think so too. Awesome.
Thank you so much.
You take care. My pleasure. All right, take care. I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Okay, I think I blew by my break, so I'm not even going to take it today because it's getting late. So 347. Hi, 347. How are you? Oh, my.
Hello.
Are you there? Hi, 347.
Hello. Hello.
Hi, can you hear me?
Hello.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me?
I can. Is this Angela?
No, my name is Siba.
Okay, can you spell that for me?
Siba.
Okay, wonderful. So if you give me 1 second, I'm just setting up a little card here to take your birth information so I can do a reading for you. Can you give me your birthday, time, and then place?
It's June 24th, 1987, and at 4 a.m. in Brooklyn, New York.
Okay. And what can I do for you today?
I'm 8. You can see I'm going through a Saturn return. It's very difficult. I've been having so much things happen to me. I've been having a lot of issues. I mean, even the Mercury retrograde is getting to me. I've had fender benders. I've had accidents. Last summer, I actually hit someone. It's been so much. And then I've been going through a lot of issues. It's okay. I kind of expected. I'm actually not fearful about it, but I'm just trying to get some insight. I've been having a lot of issues, custody battles with my son's father. And he has a Pisces ascendant. I have a Gemini ascendant, so I already knew we were kind of going to clash, but
kind of.
It's getting ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's getting ridiculous. He has a Leo sun. I have a Cancer sun. He's very bossy, and I kind of take on too much than I should, and
yeah, you're really accurate. Yeah, you know your chart. You know the zodiac.
Yes.
You know the story.
I study it very well.
Yeah. Well, sadly, Pluto does not leave your 8th house until almost 2020. So, actually, February of 2020, it finally gets out of your 8th house after 23 degrees of Capricorn. So, yeah, you've got kind of some authoritarian stuff that you're learning about through partnering and having to... Oh, hey, somebody's upset. Okay. So, yeah, I guess I need to know what is your specific question so I can, give you...
my question more so also the relationship stuff. I have a new partner, and he has a Virgo ascendant. I'm into astrology, so I looked up his stuff, and our relationship is good, but both of us are having a lot of problems with money. He's born 5 days before me, so we're basically going through the same thing at the same time. Yeah.
Wow.
So we're just both like being hit at the same time. But my specific question honestly was about work. I've been in the same job. I work for TSA in the airport. So I've been there for almost 10 years, and I noticed that Neptune is in my 10th house, and I've been tired of this job forever. And it's like, it seems like, I don't know if it's the Mars retrograde or what, but no matter how much times I try to find another job, it's not happening for me. And I know that Mars is in my 6th house right now, close to my 7th. So I'm just like, I don't know what to do. Like,
well, how long,
I've been at the job.
When did you start looking? When did you start looking?
I started looking, I want to say last October. That's when I really started getting the urge to get out of my job.
Okay.
And
now, were you starting to get some nibbles towards the end of the year?
I had some friends that work in social work that were trying to get me in. Being that I worked with the public for so many years, just trying to spruce up my resume.
No social work. No social work.
Yeah.
I would say, well, you have Neptune in Capricorn, which inclines you to work not only with people who are older who need it, it's the elderly. Capricorn is much more inclined towards the older generation. Neptune in the 8th is like, so it would be political stuff or government. So that's interesting.
Yeah,
you do government work, and you are like that totally screams TSA right there. But you and even your Saturn in Sagittarius, because Saturn in Sagittarius is travel, so you're at airports, I assume. And
yes, I'm at LaGuardia, and I actually went to high school for travel and tourism, so that's funny.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So the Neptune is saying no. You need to find out more something that resonates to your spirit, and let me just look at where your Mars might be. You've got Mars in Cancer, so definitely earning money out of the home could resonate with you, but your home might have to be like someplace else other than where you are. I mean, have you
That's funny you say that because I actually have to move.
Yeah.
My landlord just sold my house.
Yeah.
My landlord just sold my house, and me and my mother are going back and forth on if we're going to invest in the property together.
Oh, okay. Well, Saturn is retrograde.
Oh, that's another thing.
Yeah, Saturn retrograde, so it's just off of your Saturn. When they both go direct, they're going to actually come up on your Saturn. You aren't exact for the last time. You've already experienced 2 passes of Saturn. The third one comes later this year. It comes in November. And I don't know how long are they giving you to move? Because if you move before Saturn goes direct...
They're not really saying.
Okay,
they're not really saying, but I can tell that they're kind of like the new buyers have been coming in and taking measurements, and
oh my,
it's like my whole area is being like changed and redeveloped, and there's a lot of different people moving in, and it's very expensive now. So me and my mom are like, maybe we could, get something together, but then partially I don't want to get anything with her because she's just different when it comes to money. So
Yeah, I'm
don't
just
know.
thinking August, September. One of the two seem much more likely for you. I see that they're getting
Mhm.
ready, but with Saturn, Mars retrograde, those they are my symbol for real estate. That I mean, I know real estate can also be Cancer and it can be Taurus, but actually like buying and selling investment real estate is Sagittarius. So that to
Mhm.
me says that until Mars goes direct and possibly even Saturn, that I don't think you're going to have to move until Mars goes direct, and it's going to be in Scorpio, which is the house of work. So there's some old issues around deep emotional things at work until August. August 3rd,
Mhm.
Mars gets into Sagittarius again, so it'll get back kind of to where it's at now. But August, let's see, August 3rd it goes into Sagittarius. Then on the 24th, it actually gets into your house of marriage and partnership and gets out of your house of work, and it's a trigger point when it transits over a cusp. So that's also another
Mhm.
potential movement time. So you've got not only, well, Mars going direct might make a difference, but I don't necessarily think that Mars direct's gonna really affect you until it gets to like around a trine to your natal Mars in Cancer in your second house, which is, I'm just looking up. Hang on a second if you have patience. Well,
It's
Mars goes
okay.
direct at 23. So that Mars direct at the end of June 28th is probably going to have some effect
Oh, right
wrapping
after my
up.
birthday.
Yeah, and it is not only that, it trines the cusp of your house of money and possessions, which could have a little
Yes.
impact, but it's also the sign of Cancer, which is home and family. So that Mars
Yes.
direct then, so yeah, probably the end of June and beginning of July, but
Mhm.
you've got a lot of triggers between July 1st and the end of August. There are a lot of things happening
Yes.
for you then, a lot of changes. I'm figuring you're probably going to move farther away. Um, I'm
I
guessing
kind
you're
of
going to,
want to do that to
yeah,
be honest.
yeah, and you should get a job
I
farther
do
away
have
too.
yeah, I was actually thinking about moving to Atlanta. I actually finished high school in Atlanta, and I love it there. And there was a lot of things. That's why I'm going through the custody battle. My son's father didn't want me to
Right.
go, but
Yeah.
he had a double life, and he ended up moving to Pennsylvania with his girlfriend and son that's
Right.
6 months younger than ours. So now it's like he's trying to stomp on my dreams and wishes because
Well, I
he wants
understand.
to keep me stagnated, you know?
Yeah. Well, I can tell you, I understand some of that. And you have Saturn in the house of marriage and partnership, so he's being triggered in that area as well, of course. But
Yeah, he has
Saturn,
Saturn and Sagittarius as well.
yeah, well, Saturn.
He's a year older than me, so.
Oh, okay, he's a year older. Yeah. Oh, no, you said your
Yeah.
boyfriend's 5 days. Okay.
No,
So
yeah, my
what you're,
boyfriend's 5 days, and we're really connected. He's actually a Gemini, but we're like so, we're kind of
yeah.
like in tune.
No,
But sometimes it gets me
yeah.
frustrated.
Gemini moon, Gemini I think it's Venus. It's right on top of the moon.
Yes.
Yeah, it's Venus. So, yeah, definitely you've got some energy around travel and transit but I'm thinking probably June is going to factor in, and then I'm thinking move. I mean, honestly, I don't know how you're not going to move, especially after Mars goes back direct over that cusp. You're just going to be like, I've got to do this. And I
Yeah.
understand that there's some stuff. I think that when Mars gets to later degrees, right now Saturn is in, let me see, is that in conjunct? Yeah, it's in conjunct to your Pluto transit right now. I'm just trying to figure out how all the other planets line up, what might be able to help you. And also,
One more
Venus
question. Do
and
you
Sun
see
is Mercury.
anything about legal, like the custody thing? Do you see
Yeah,
anything
Pluto in
legal?
the 8th house.
Because I've been having issues with that.
I know. Saturn in
Because
Capricorn.
he's dodging being served, so the judge keeps getting frustrated with me because I'm telling her the whole reason why I don't want my son to be with him is because I don't know where they live. And that's his very Neptune ascendant. He's very mystical and transient, and he doesn't want to give up where he really lives. And the judge keeps getting frustrated with me, I guess feeling like I'm wasting her time. But I don't want to take the chance of letting my son go with him for even a day because I might not see him again.
Right. So yeah, Pluto is definitely the energy that you need to look at. Pluto is about private investigators. It's about the legalities. It's about it's the hidden. So you're probably going to have to do something to investigate him to find out where he lives. Does he have a job?
Mm-hmm.
The job should have his address.
He used to work in Queens, but now he works in Pennsylvania. I have no idea where he works. I'm thinking about hiring an investigator.
Well,
I know it's social,
okay,
so I mean.
Have you gone to the online? There is in most states, a lot of states have this. You go to the county or the tax collector, and you can look up property taxes by name. You could enter in his name, and if that state, if Pennsylvania has this, they would say where he lives. And not only that, a lot of times when you get a new driver's license or anything, a lot of that information is public information, and companies actually go and mine this information and sell it back to you. But you can go in to some of these like whitepages.com or something like that and type in a person's name, and a lot of times it'll give you like every address that they know that person by that name has lived at. And if there's an address there that you don't recognize, you'd be like, and it's in Pennsylvania, you'd be like, that's probably it. So you can do it that way as well. I mean, you can do some things on your own to research it, but you might have to hire somebody, even just, if you've got an extra $100 or $200, I don't know how much they charge. You're just like, I need to find out his address, but it has to be completely covert. He is not beyond being found, trust me. So and
his family is a big support system for him. They even assisted in him lying. I didn't find out about his other child and his other family until after my son was 3 months old. He wasted literally almost 5 years of my life, and his mother and his cousins and all the women in his family told him not to tell me because it would stress me out. So I have to deal with that. He has a Scorpio moon. And his mom is a Scorpio. So
there's a lot going on.
Everything screams secrecy. Yeah. I know his birth information as well. I've studied his chart numerous times. He has a sun square moon. So that says a lot about who he is.
Yeah. And he doesn't really respect women because it's about his ego and his pride and the moon is his mom. If your sense of identity is completely at odds with your mother, that's how you treat women. You're going to not get along with your mom, and then you're going to carry that over to women as well. So
and he's even said to me before in the past that he resents his mother because she stayed in loveless relationships just to say she had a man. So I already see his view of women. And he's also attracted to weak women, and I'm not weak at all. I don't know if you could tell by my chart. But
no, I can completely. Well, I can tell just by talking to you.
I have Mars and Cancer in the third house.
No.
So I have no problem cursing someone out.
Good for
and
you.
I'm from
I
Brooklyn.
have Mars and Cancer too. I have mine's really close to you. It's only 4 degrees apart. But you got more fire than I have. I don't have as much fire as you. You got a lot of fire. So that's a good thing. You know what? I think that there may be issues with him up until about 2020 when I looked when Saturn finally crosses the cusp out of your house of marriage. So your 8th house, house of money from marriage and legalities. I know it's a long time, but I mean, this is probably a conversation I would need to have a full reading with because there's a lot of
Yes, I would love to call you back for a free reading. I mean, a full reading. I have so many questions, and I can give you all his information, and you can put our charts together.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But I do have to end the show now, so I just think that you're gonna have some changes between August, September, Libra, Jupiter's going into Libra. It'll get out of your house, home, and family. You'll be able to move on and get out of there. So just look towards August, September, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Hey, my pleasure. It was good talking to you. Bye, Siba.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay, that's the end of the show. Thank you so much for calling and listening, and we'll talk to you next week. Bye. Thanks for stopping by AstroEnergy this week. If you would like to get a hold of Shelley Overton, you can get her at astrologerangel.com, on Facebook at AstroEnergy or Astrologer Angel. The music was provided by Kevin MacLeod at incompetech.com, with additional music by Ironwood Rain. Check them out on the net at ironwoodrain.com.